Are you in the mood for some color blocking? Then this bag is just perfect for you. This is the squared away tote bag, and it's perfect for travels because it has a trolley sleeve, but you can also carry it in a classical way by its handles. It has this cubic designs, which is perfect for combining different fabrics, materials, colors. So how would you personalize this bag? Let's look at all the details first. It has a slip pocket in the front, and the most eye-catching thing for me personally are the zipper pockets on the sides because they go around the whole side pieces and they close towards the front and meet in the front. This is the back. So here you can see the trolley sleeve. Of course you can skip it, but it's really nice to have though. It's another slip pocket is on the back as well. And now we will look at the interior. I've added 2 D-rings to the interior, but we'll get to that point later in detail. This bag has a main zipper closure, and you find a divided slip pocket on the inside. There are 2 cup holders, but they work great for other small stuff too. And of course, we do need an interior zipper pocket as well for our important stuff, right? So let's add a bottle in there so you can see how tall this is. So this is the bottle that I'm adding. It should not be a lot taller because we do want to close our zipper, right? So if the bottle is too tall, it might be too small. The bag might be too small for it. But it's kind of spacious though, because as you can see, this will fit my laptop. So it's a perfect business travel tote bag, which can fit quite a lot and is still very handy. When it comes to the straps or the handles, you can personalize them in kind of unique ways. So the pattern says to use webbing like this one. This is also the one that I made for the ebook, but in this video I will make them from faux leather and the contrast fabric, and you can get creative as much as you like and make this your own style and play around with different materials. So feel free to replace your webbing. So one very important thing that you need to think about before you make your bag is if you want to wear this as a crossbody strap, you need to think about how you want to add the D-rings. I added them to my interior, but if you don't secure them with rivets, they will pull up like you just seen here in this clip. So have a look at the ebook and decide whether you want to add them with rivets to the interior, because the rivets will be visible from the exterior as well. Or if you don't like this look, of course you can also just add them in the classic way that we usually add our D-rings. If you attach the tabs to the exterior top edge center right here where I'm showing you right now, instead of placing them into the interior. But if you decide to do that, please do not attach them to the side pieces before assembly because they won't be centered. This is also a great spot where you could place the D-ring tabs, one on each side, but it will be like asymmetrical look, and the bag will not be balanced out as much as if you would add them to the sides. So have a look at the ebook at page don't let me lie, page 8 or 9. No, it's page 9. Have a look at page 9 of the ebook and decide whether you want to attach them like I did to the interior, but then I strongly suggest you to use rivets for security, 2 rivets to be exact, because if you only add 1, this might rip easily if you pack your bag with heavy stuff. So we need 2 rivets on each side, and it's just something that you need to decide. Where do you want to place your D-rings? Here you can see again, you could also like maybe hide them under here, but like I always say, this is your bag. You can get creative with it and do as you're like and what your preferences are. Okay, so now that we talked about this design, we should get to preparing our patterns and our fabrics. So please download the files right away to your computer and have them saved, because if you're a Patreon, the file will expire after 3 months. And then if you save it, make sure you print it from the Adobe Reader and not from your browser. Make sure you have the right format, because my patterns come in centimeters and in inches. And then you need to adjust the size to actual size or 100%. When you print out your pattern pieces, make sure to check the box if the measurements are correct. Or you could simply skip that and just measure and cut, because most of the people are rectangular pieces. These are the fabrics that I've used. This is an Oxford fabric from my own fabric collection. This is so cool, y'all. My first fabric collection that will be available for sale soon. And yeah, the lining fabric is just a regular cotton cotton, very lightweight. My interfacings that I've used are Decophyllite and H630 for the main pieces. And I use Decophyllite first and then fuse the volume fleece on top. The volume fleece is very similar to Palon Thermolam. And for my lining pieces, I've used G700 for all the lining pieces except for pieces P. I've also used some faux leather for my exterior. This is quite thin, so I do like some Decophyllite and volume fleece for it, but if you have thick fabrics, you could skip the interfacing. You decide what the feel of your bag should be. So these are just suggestions. These are not rules. You make your own rules for your own bag. So this is just what I used. This is pattern piece P. This is quite special because this is the only piece from my lining pieces, from my cotton pieces, where I do not use interfacing, and the darts on the bottom and the top, they will be drawn onto the wrong side. So please do not cut them out of your fabrics. Just transfer these darts on the wrong side of your pieces. So for other materials, we will need some zipper tape. We will need some webbing for our handles and our strap. And we do need a piece of elastic, only a small piece, and I will use them for the pattern piece P interior bottle holder to have like this scrunched top. Can you say like that? In this case, I've replaced my webbing with faux leather. Feel free to do so too and get creative. If you do a strap, you do need swivel clasp and a slider. We do need 2 D-rings if you want to use your bag as a crossbody as well. We need 4 zipper pulls and a zipper end for the main zipper. When you prepare your pieces, make sure to not get them mixed up. You can mark them from on the wrong side if you like. I do like to make this pile with all the pieces and the pattern piece on top, so I do not get anything twisted and mixed up. We will start with the side pieces. So here you can see all the stuff that we need to make the sides. So we need the side top pieces, the side bottom pieces in main and lining, and we need the base pattern piece S in 2 pieces. We also need 2 zipper tapes, each being 25 centimeters long, 10 inches. Important, they close towards different directions. Keep that in mind. My zipper tape is a bit longer because I like it like that, and I will trim off the excess later. We will start the first side piece and we will make this one close towards the left. So place the zipper right side down on the right side of the exterior bottom piece and baste in place. Then take the lining piece, put it on top, right sides together, and sew the top edge with 7mm seam allowance, 1/4 inch. Now I trim my extra zipper tape, but if yours was 25 centimeters long, you don't need to trim anything. Next, fold the fabrics away from the zipper so they're wrong sides together and top stitch. Next, we will attach the base. So place the S piece right side up in front of you and put the zipper on top. aligned by the top edge. You can baste in place, but you don't have to if you feel secure. Next, take the top piece and place it on top of the zipper, right sides together, and sew this edge with 7mm seam allowance, 1/4 of an inch. So you see 3 pieces on the bottom, 1 on the top. Fold the top up and top stitch. Next, I strongly suggest you to baste together the bottom 3 pieces. Now this zipper is closing towards the left. We will sew the second side piece exactly the same way, except for the zipper closing towards the right now, because we want the zipper to meet in the front later in the final bag. So this one closes towards the right. Place it on top and just sew it exactly the same way. See, now we have the 2 side pieces just mirrored. Do not mark the top center yet. We will do this later, because if you do this now, it will be off center. The back is wider than the front, so the center, the actual center, is not in the center of the side piece. The front and back are quite easy. We will start with the front. So we will make the slip pocket first. So I strongly suggest you to take the A piece or the pattern piece and make sure that you don't mix up any pieces and that it's upwards the right way. Do not mix up the direction, okay? So the slip pocket, the front slip pocket, I've marked it on the wrong side. You place the main and lining right sides together and sew the top edge with 1 cm seam allowance, 3/8 inch. Next, you fold the fabrics wrong sides together and top stitch the top edge. Place it on the A main piece and make sure that the top edge is actually straight. I use my cutting mat for that, so I will align it that it's straight, and then I will baste it in place. Later on, we will trim the side pieces, or maybe you don't have to trim, because the side pieces need to have the same height as the center, the front center. And as you can see, sometimes with attaching the zipper, it can be quite off a little bit, but you decide whether you want to trim from the top or the bottom. I like to align the top edge of the slip pocket with the zipper top edge, but we will take care of this later when we assemble the bag. Next, we will make the back. So this is the trolley sleeve. You fold it right sides together and sew the edge on the bottom with 1 cm seam allowance. Then turn the piece right side out and give it a press. Next, you need to top stitch the top and the bottom edge. I did the mistake first and I forgot the bottom edge. I just top stitched the top, but you need to top stitch both, okay, because it looks a lot better like that. And then you place it on the back main slip pocket, main fabric, 7 cm from the top edge, and baste in place. And then I realized I didn't top stitch the bottom edge, so I needed to use my seam ripper again, haha. But that was easy, so I realized that pretty quickly. So next we will take the lining piece, place it on top, aligned by the top edge, and sew this edge with 1 cm seam allowance, 3/8 inch seam allowance. Fold the fabric wrong sides together and top stitch the top edge to create your back slip pocket. Before you place it on the back piece, we need to attach our handle. And when it comes to the handles, you need to decide now whether you want webbing or if you want to make them yourself. So I made them from faux leather and contrast. I just took the same length as I would with the webbing that I would take and just make a strap from contrast and faux leather. I just sewed this together and used it, and I went a bit crazy with all the top stitching. And as you can see, each strip needs to be 75 centimeters or 30 inches long. So whether it's webbing or if you made it yourself. So when you take webbing, I suggest you to sew together the centered 10 centimeters, 4 inches. So mark the center and find out the centered 10 centimeters. So like I would just mark the center and measure 5 centimeters from the center so that you have it marked and you sew this together. So I will fold this in half and just stitch it together. Don't forget to lock your stitches. So here's my handle in webbing and one handle in faux leather, but I will use the faux leather one. This was just for demonstration. So you would mark 8 centimeters, 3 inches from the bottom on your handles. And I've made a marking on the back piece 5 centimeters, 2 inches from the top edge. And we will align those 2 lines. So the line that we draw on the main fabric and the lines that we draw on the webbing. If I use webbing, I will fold the ends over. For the faux leather, I did not because it will be too thick and you won't see the ends because they will disappear in the slip pocket. So now place it on the main piece, on the back piece, 3 centimeters, 1/1/8 from the side edge, and the 2 drawn lines will be on top of each other. So the ends of the webbing, they need to be folded over because they're thin, it's no problem. But with the one that I've used, it's too thick. I tried, and maybe you can see all these holes that are in there because I made it wrong the first time. I won't do that because it's too thick. I will just leave it like that and stitch it on there. You can stitch up to the marking, to the line, and then remove it later. When the handle was attached, place the slip pocket on top, make sure the top edge is straight, and then baste it in place. So this is our back piece. We have the back, the front, and the side pieces. We do need webbing, or we need a second strap that we made, and we need the bottom piece. So since I'm not using webbing, I will make a second strap from faux leather. Before we attach the strap, we need to align the side pieces with the front. You see my side pieces are too tall. So I checked the measurements, should be 33 centimeters tall, 30 inches. So my side pieces are a bit taller. So I will trim them off, and I decided I trim them off from the top so that I like the alignment of the slip pocket with the zipper so that they're on one line. You could have this also trim from the bottom if you like them to be not next to each other. That's totally personal preference. So now the pieces have the same height and we can attach them. When both side pieces have the correct height, we will attach them to the front. So when you do that, I suggest you to place them in front of you with the front in the center and the sides on the sides. And the zipper needs to close towards the front piece, so like this. Then place them on top of each other and sew this edge with 1 centimeter 3/8 inch seam allowance. These seams can get quite thick, so what you can do is you can top stitch them, either being folded apart from each other or towards the center, because it's kind of hard to attach the webbing or your strap if it's too thick like that and the seam allowance might be in the way. So next you need your piece of webbing or the strap that you made in the correct length. If you do this from webbing, you need to sew together the center 10 centimeters as well. So find the center and measure 10 centimeters or 4 inches and sew them together and then place them on your piece. And then before you stitch it on your piece, your front piece, take the back and place it underneath or on top and make sure that they have the same length, because now is still a time for any corrections. So my strap is falling apart on the bottom, but that's okay because I've been experimenting a bit with how I would do that, and I didn't want to waste any fabric on the interior. because you know half strap will be not visible from one side, so I thought I could save this fabric. But if I do it again, I will make the whole piece from both, because it's thicker like that and it won't get as bumpy as it did with my piece. So mark 5 centimeters from the top edge, because this will be the space where you would stop stitching. Okay, so you place it on top, cover your seams, and stitch up in a rectangular way until you get to the 5 centimeter marking and stitch down again. So like I said, place it on there and then compare if the strap sticking out over the edge has the same length as the back piece. So my top stitching got a bit wonky, but that was also because the way my strap was constructed. So now you can place the back on one side piece and sew this edge with 1 centimeter 3/8 inch of seam allowance, and then do the same at the other side, so all edges are connected. 1 centimeter 3/8 inch seam allowance. Then you will attach the bottom piece, and this is the hard thing about this pattern, I think personally, attaching the bottom piece. So we need to mark the center, and to find the center on the side is a bit tricky. So mark the front and back center first, align these centers like this, and then you find out where the center of the side pieces are. Repeat with the other side, and if you want to, you can do the top right now as well if you like. Now we take the bottom piece and mark 1 centimeter from each edge, 3/8 inch. So you draw these little squares because we will sew from marking to marking. Now mark all the centers on all edges and make sure you connect the bottom in the correct way, because do not mix up the front with the sides. So the long edge needs to be on the front or on the back piece, not on the side center, okay? So place it in there. I start with the front first. So this is connected to the front, and I will sew from marking to marking with 1 centimeter seam allowance 3/8 inch. Now you could do the short edge now and work around the whole piece, or you can try, if you think that would be too hard, you can connect this to the side now, like I did in the instruction. I thought that was easier, but everybody's different, and this one I tried connecting it to the back first and leaving the sides open. So I will connect the center markings from the other long edge of the bottom piece with the back center, and then sew from marking to marking as well with 1 centimeter seam allowance 3/8 inch. So to connect the side pieces, you might want to snip the main body piece where it's above the corner to make it fit a bit easier. So make tiny snips so they are hidden in the seam allowance. Connect the center markings, use as many clips as you can, and then sew the short edges too with 1 centimeter seam allowance. This time I had the bottom piece on the bottom of my machine and the main body being on top, but every machine is different, so you sew this part whatever feels easier for you. If this is too hard, consider basting first really close to the edge and then sew a second time with the correct seam allowance. When the bottom piece is connected and you do want to put your D-rings in the top edge, now is the time to do that, because you want to do this before you assemble this piece with the lining piece. So if you want to connect your D-rings to the top edge, do so right now. To prepare your D-ring tabs, fold the long edges towards the center. This is the R piece, but I left them in one whole piece instead of two. Of course, you can do this with both pieces in a single way, and top stitch. Now I had to divide it because I need 2 tabs, right? So then thread a D-ring on each tab and then baste together the short ends, and then you can attach them to your top edge. Only do so if you don't want to attach this to the interior lining piece. So now you've marked already the top center on the sides, baste them in place on the right side of the exterior piece. The exterior is done. Now let's move on to the interior. So we start with the sides. We need the P pieces, the O pieces, some elastics, and if you haven't attached the D-ring tabs to the top edge, we will attach them to the interior. So we need the end pieces as well. And first, let's make the bottle holder pockets. So fold these wrong sides together and cut the elastics in 2 strips. So we need 20 centimeters, 7.5, and we will mark the 12 centimeters of it for 3/4 of an inch. And then I will press this to have a crisp top edge, and then I will place the elastic inside the top fold. Not edge, fold, Sarah. So fold the upper piece down and then sew right next to the elastic without sewing through it, okay? So we don't want to sew through the elastic, just really close to it. So now I will pull on it till the first marking that I've made on the edge is here, and then baste in place. And then I will pull on the elastic strap until I see the second marking, and then baste the elastic on the other side edge in place. Trim off any extra elastic band without cutting off too much though. Now we will make the darts on the bottom. So we fold these right sides together so the 2 lines align on top of each other. If you want to check if you hit the right fold, you can take a pin and just push it through the line and see if you have matched the lines correctly. Then sew all 4 darts. Cut the seam allowance open. Fold the seam allowance open and align them on top of each other. So the piece is aligned on the outer edges, and take a clip to secure this. So baste the bottom edge together so nothing will slip while you will baste it on top of the side piece. Mark the bottom center and then take the side interior piece, mark the top and bottom center as well, and then place the pocket on top of it. Both pieces are right side up and aligned by the bottom center. Then align the whole piece along the outer edges. Make sure when you're done with attaching it that the top edge is straight, and then baste in place. See, this is not really straight, so you need to shift it a little bit. Sometimes the bottom center is not correct, so just adjust it and baste in place. Make the second piece exactly the same way. And now, like I said, if you have attached the D-rings to your top edge, you need to skip this part, of course, but you could also add a second set if you like to attach them to secure any like swivel clasps on the interior, like your keychain or something like that. But yes, we will make the 2 D-ring tabs and put a D-ring on each tab, fold the short ends together and baste in place. And then we will need the end pieces. These are the top side interior pieces, and mark the top and bottom center of it. And when the center is marked, we will align 1 D-ring tab to the center. That will be on the bottom, not the top. So align this. I let it stand over quite a tiny bit, but I would not suggest you do, because we do want to put a 7-second rivet into it, and if you place it like I did, it would get quite tight. So rather align all the raw edges on the same level. So when this is attached, you will place this on the side piece and sew this edge with 1 centimeter seam allowance, 3/8 inch. I'm so sorry, I don't know what's wrong with me today. I don't know, it seems like I have a knot in my tongue. Then fold the end piece up and top stitch on the bottom. So the side pieces are now done, and set them aside. We will take care of them later. Now we make the main zipper. So we need a zipper tape and a zipper pull and the main zipper pieces in main and lining. To prepare our zipper, we will fold the beginning of the zipper on a 90-degree angle like this and secure this with a pin. And next I will baste this in place so everything stays exactly where it should be. I tried the lighter method where you melt the end of the zipper, but it didn't really work out for me. Tell me what you think, how you do it. I rather baste this in place with a few stitches. So next I will take the main piece first, and I decide what should be the beginning, what should be the end, which way around I would like that. So I will fold 1 centimeter on one side over to the wrong side and secure this with a clip. Do this with the other one too, to the wrong side, but only on one short end, not on both short ends. Then place it right side up, and now I will attach my zipper. So I will put the zipper pull away, we need this at the end, and I will place the zipper right sides together on the strip, but I will leave 1 centimeter gap at the beginning, 3/8 inch, and I will stitch just until the fabric is not over the edge, because these stitches will be visible later on. See, no stitches here. So this is just basted in place, and then I will take a lining piece and fold the end over 1 centimeter like I did with the main piece too, to the wrong side, and place it on top. Next I will sew this together with 7mm seam allowance in an L shape, a 1/4 of a seam allowance, L shape like this, and then trim the corner on one side and a little bit of the zipper too. See, this is the end. And then I will turn this piece right side out and finger press the edges. And next we will top stitch the zipper and baste together the raw edges too. So I will sew a rectangle. Next I will repeat this with the second piece, just mirrored. So I will baste this in place first. Don't forget the gap of 1 centimeter at the beginning. Sew them together in an L shape, trim the corner, and then top stitch and baste together all edges. Okay, now for front and back interior. So these pieces can be mixed up quite easy. So make sure that you get the right pieces in the right direction. So I will sort them like that. This is the zipper pocket, and we will start with this one. So draw a rectangle on the wrong side of the zipper pocket facing, and then make sure you have the right piece so that it's not upside down, in the right direction. So this J piece is right side up, and you will place the facing 5 centimeters 2 inches from the top edge, centered, and sew the two pieces together along the rectangle that you've drawn. Then cut the center line, but not all the way, because you will start and end in a V shape. Cut as close into the corners as you can without cutting into the seam. Push the facing through the hole, shape out all the corners and edges, and give it a press. Now we need a zipper. and the two zipper pocket pieces. So this piece is right side up and the zipper is right side up, and we will sew the top edge with 7mm 1/4 inch seam allowance. My zipper was longer as usual. Then I fold the zipper away from the fabric and repeat this step with the second lining piece. Now I will fold the fabrics away from the zipper, so you see the fabrics are wrong side up and the zipper is right side up. The zipper closes towards the left, and I will place the gap right above the zipper coil, and I will make sure the side edges of the facing and the zipper pocket itself align. And then I will sew the two pieces together by sewing a rectangle around the zipper. Then I fold the upper lining piece down and trim off the extra fabric on the bottom. And then I will sew the side and bottom edges together with 1cm seam allowance, but I will leave an opening in the bottom edge, like this. So I will sew this side and leave an opening on the bottom. Looks good. Now we mark the top center and place the main zipper on top. So we make sure we take the piece that closes towards the same direction as the interior zipper pocket, and we center them and baste this in place. Now we need the top piece. Place it on top and sew this edge with 1cm 3/8 inch seam allowance. Fold the top piece up and top stitch. Now we make the front piece, so we need the slip pocket. So the slip pocket is slightly smaller than the J piece, and I made a marking on the wrong side so I don't get them mixed up. But of course, just take the paper pieces if you have printed them out and compare that you do not make them wrong direction. So fold it down, right sides together, and sew the bottom edge with 1cm seam allowance, 3/8 inch seam allowance. Turn the piece right side out and give it a press. And also top stitch the top edge. Place this on your second J piece and make sure that it's 10cm 4 inches from the top edge. And also mark the center because we want to create a divided slip pocket here. So I will mark the center to sew up, and I go down the side, go up, down again to the other side, and this is how I create a divided slip pocket. I mark the top and the bottom center and align the second main zipper piece, both being right side up, aligned by the top edge, and baste in place. Place the top on top, the interior top on top, right sides together. Sew this edge with 1cm 3/8 inch, fold it up and top stitch as well. So now we've created the sides, the front and the back from our interior. It's time to connect them. So we take the front and the back and we will place them right sides together and only sew the bottom edge, but we leave a large opening because this is the opening where we will push our bag through later on. So I will sew about 5 centimeters, maybe 2 inches only, and lock my stitches so that it won't rip later on. And then I will fold the seam allowance open and connect the sides. So we have the bottom of the sides marked already. So I will align this with the seam on the bottom edge. And then I will start with the top, align the top edge, and then work my way down to the center, securing the outer edges with clips. You can make tiny snips in the front and back piece, so it's easier to place them over the curvy section of the side piece. When I'm at the bottom, I will start at the top again and work my way to the bottom center again, also making small snips. And then I will sew this piece, the side piece on the main piece, together with 1 centimeter seam allowance, 3 8-inch seam allowance. Now we will repeat the same step with the second side piece. So interior is done. So let's turn this right side out and have a look at it. It's pretty already, don't you think? Make sure that your zipper tape does not get caught up in the seams. I forgot to mention that. That happens easily, so make sure the zippers stay out of the seams. So now we can align those two pieces, the main and the interior. The main piece is wrong side out. Let me make sure this is the back with the trolley sleeve, and the front is the simple slip pocket. So the interior slip pocket will align with the front slip pocket. So both pieces will be connected right sides together, and I will start by aligning the center markings first and then work my way around the whole top edge, aligning all raw edges and securing them with clips. So make sure the interior zipper pocket is connected to the back where the trolley sleeve is. And then sew the top edge with 1 centimeter, 3 8-inch seam allowance. Now we have the big opening here in the bottom, and we will turn the bag through this opening. I know it can be a bit hard if you have thick materials, but to make this a bit easier, you could also warm up your fabrics with a blow dryer, or you put it on heater for a bit so the materials get a bit softer. So when it's turned right side out, make sure you shaped out everything nicely, and then you grab through the hole in the interior zip pocket, the smaller one, and you grab the interior main piece and pull out the opening from the bottom, which we turned the bag through, and align the raw edges, secure it with clips, and just close the opening by stitching from stitch to stitch, from here to here, so everything is like closed correctly. And you put it back through the interior zip pocket, and next you fold the seam allowance inward that we left open here, align it nicely, and top stitch. So put everything back and then shape out the top edge correctly. So it's better if you use some clips to keep everything in place, especially if you had to trim the side piece. The deco fill might be in the way a bit, and then you will top stitch around the top edge. Make sure you don't sew through the zipper tape and anything like that, and that the D-rings won't get in your way. Then you need to thread on the main zipper, the zipper pull. Make sure that everything's straight and install the zipper end. I like to trim my zipper tape. I know some of you like this zipper tail to be longer. I like it quite short, so that's totally up to you. You can use a lighter to melt the end of the zipper, or use some freight check as well. So what I will do is I will fold the zipper tape underneath my coil on the zipper spiral. I will fold it like this, and then simply place the zipper end on as far as I can, and I will take this little poking tool here and poke it inside the hole and try to pull this up a little bit further as far as it can get, and I will poke a hole through the zipper tape, and then insert this tiny little screw that likes to make me angry sometimes. So now that it's installed, we still need to insert our rivets since we have attached the D-rings to the interior. So use your fingers to find the spot where the D-ring tab ends, because the hole that we're going to punch is going to be centered underneath the top stitching, but it needs to go through all layers, so the ends of the tabs will be caught in the hole and attached to it, otherwise it wouldn't make sense. And I also suggest you install one rivet at a time, because fabrics can shift and we don't want any wrinkles in between our rivets. So punch a hole, insert your rivet and secure it, and then punch the second hole for the second rivet. So here you can see I'm still busy with rivet number 1, and I will press it with my tool. And since I made my D-ring pretty tight in there, I don't have much space for rivet number 2, but it's possible. But you have more space since you aligned the raw edges on top of each other, right? So you won't have much trouble finding a spot. So I will place a second one here, and I will mark the spot first with a pen, punch a hole, and then insert rivet number 2. And of course you need to make this on the other side as well. If you've attached your D-rings to the top edge, or simply skipped it because you don't want your bag to be a crossbody bag, of course you could just skip this part. So rivet number 2 is set, and of course you need to repeat this on the other side as well. And then you're done. Your bag is finished. There's just one thing to do, and that is the strap if you like to make one. So let's make this, because if it's foam webbing, it's really quick, it's not a big deal, and it's done in like 5 minutes. You'll need 2 swivel clasps and a slider, and a piece of webbing, which is 1.40 meters or 55 inches long. So first put the slider on one end, fold the end over, and secure the end with stitches. Your webbing can be any width that you like, of course. Now thread the swivel clasp on the other short end and pull it through the slider. Take the second swivel clasp and thread it on the short end, fold the end over, and secure with stitches as well. And this is how quick a strap is done from webbing. Of course, you could also do this from faux leather, from your fabrics, whatever you like. Get creative and do what's fun. And that's basically it. Now you're really done. Your bag is finished. And yes, I hope you like this. I hope you've enjoyed the instruction and making it. I know it's a lot of pieces. It's not very easy, but you made it and you can show it off. So show it off on social bag makers if you like, because I love seeing your pictures. Tag me on Insta, and I hope that we can sew many more pretty bags together. So what do you think about that? I hope to see you around. Happy sewing, everyone!